$9.6 trillion. $9.6 trillion. That's over $31,000 per person. That's $2 billion a day. $2 billion a day for us as we move forward. We've seen this administration, during the course of this administration, our national debt double, nearly double, from 5.3 to $9.6 trillion. So this is, in fact, a tax increase on the next generation. Sometimes we forget that. We want to cut taxes largely for some people that may not need them, at the same time increasing spending, namely with this war, and leaving a huge gap that we've got to fill with bonds, and many of these bonds are being purchased by outsiders. What we have effectively done is pass this on to the next generation. And what I propose to you is that that is fiscally irresponsible. And we've seen the devaluation of our dollar. This is one of the largest tax increases on history in such a short period of time. To see the cost of living go up so dramatically, that is a huge tax increase on the people, and that is largely due to our poor fiscal and monetary policies. We've got to have sound judgment in Washington. So why, then, do we have a lack of fiscal clarity? Well, it's quite simple, you see. It's these lobbyists and special interests that have gone up to Washington and have taken control of our legislature. They're the ones that are running this agenda. They are taking the voice away from middle America. And that's keeping us from making responsible decisions when it comes to spending your federal tax dollars. Taking money from these tax lobbyists. In fact, I've taken that one step further, much to the dismay of many in my own party. I actually don't even take a dime from the party itself. That way I can honestly look into the eyes of the people of the 6th District and America and say, I am representing you as an individual. I'm not representing PACs, lobbyists, nor am I going to allow anyone's national agenda to be barked down upon us right here in the 6th District. I would like to introduce to you my first bill in Congress. This is called the Earmark Eradication Act of 2009. From the beginning, we must let them know that we're serious. And this is a bill that amends the Congressional Budget Act of 1974 that allows no funding to be appropriated at all to these earmarks. Now let me make clear the difference here between the projects that these earmarks fund and the process by which we fund them. Many of these projects are well warranted. We need them. In fact, some local economies rely on some of these projects. But what we disagree with, what we're fighting against here, is the process by which we fund these projects. That a congressperson can arbitrarily attach on to almost any bill the fact that they would like some funding for a special project. Well, I believe in legitimizing that process, maybe through a grant process where we have funding appropriated to museums, to theaters, to flood reduction projects, but we do it in a responsible way. We can no longer allow the special interests and those buddies of these congresspersons to spend our federal tax-paying dollars. And most to appropriate these funds to domestic priorities that must be funded, like health care, like H.R. 676, fixing our roads and infrastructure. A third of our bridges here in Virginia are in unacceptable condition. So we need to be taking these funds, which amounts to tens of billions of dollars, which could revolutionize things here in Virginia with our infrastructure, with our economy, with green-collar jobs, which we talk about over and over again. We have to begin to find legislators, begin to seek out leaders that are ready to reach across the aisle, ready to be responsible with our tax dollars, and not just aimlessly pander to whomever's in front of them at that time.